hottest freestyles to interviews with the biggest artists in the world. It's Just Incredible and DJ Sour Milk, the LA Leakers, live from Los Angeles.
Yes. All right, it's Power 106. It's the Liftoff Show. We are the LA Leakers. We are here. I'm Just Incredible.
I'm DJ Sour Milk.
And tonight on the show, we are joined by some family.
Yep, we got some old family that we've known for a while. We got some new family that we just met tonight. Introduce yourself real quick.
My name is Gil, and I'm known as American Cholo on podcast on YouTube.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us.
Man, thank you guys for having us.
Yeah, and we got our brother Tyga here, and I mean, I guess just right off the bat, we'll just get straight into the to the video. You dropped a video a few weeks ago, I Caramba. There was a lot of talk on social media, about it being offensive, and I think people had a lot to say about it. You reached out to me, and you were like, one of the people that you wanted to speak to that caught your attention was Gil, American Cholo. And so first and foremost, I want to say I thought it was dope for you to take the initiative to, to reach out. You know what I'm saying? And that's honestly how this even happened. Shout out to our guy Lulu, who connected the dots for us as well, man. But I don't know if we should let you speak first, Gil, and
Sure.
just kind of tell us your point of view on.
Right. So first of all, thank you for coming, Tyga.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, man. I'm not looking for any kind of fight. I'm not looking to blame or call Tyga any names. I'm looking for some kind of understanding, because in the community, the brown community, Mexican community, whatever you want to call it, it wasn't the song itself that was so offensive to us. It was the videos. It was the visuals on it, right? And I believe that it has a lot to do with just not just Tyga himself, but a lot of the industry being tone deaf when it comes to Mexican American or just brown people in general. And let me explain to you what I saw as a brown man looking at that video, Tyga.
Okay.
I'm looking at the video, and originally I see a greasy fat Mexican eating chips, room's all dirty. And then I see when he's outside in the lowrider, you got tortilla chips falling down. And a lot of times when it comes to us, people don't really see it. But when I flip the script on it and say, okay, let's put an African-American man sitting down on a couch, dirty-ass room, eating some fried chicken, goes outside into the lowrider scene, and you got watermelon falling from the sky. And that kind of visual is the kind of visual I got to kind of explain to other people so they can see what we're talking about. And the song itself, no, not at all, brother. I don't think the song is offensive. I don't believe the caramba part's offensive either, not any way, shape, or form. But I think that maybe, I don't know if somebody wrote that video for you or you did it. I think when you guys were all in a room thinking about what you were doing, you guys probably thought it's going to be funny, it's going to be fun, we're going to have a good time about it. But it seems almost, and correct me if I'm wrong, like you had no real representation of any Mexican American in that room telling you, hey, Tiger, I don't think this is it. To me, am I wrong to think that it was just maybe you and maybe some white or other African-American artists in the room when you guys were making that video?
I think what it was is, and I wanted to go back to why I really wanted to sit with you, because I just got back from Europe. So when I dropped the video, I wasn't in LA, I was in Europe.
Right.
And then I started seeing a lot of people, offended by it, and I was kind of confused. So that's why I didn't respond. I took time to didn't comment on anything, didn't like any posts. And I kind of try to do my research a little bit. I try to ask a lot of my friends that I grew up with that were Mexican. Sour Milk is my DJ. He's Mexican.
Right.
My engineer that recorded the song with me, he's Mexican. So I was really kind of confused at first. Why are people offended? Because I've always done Latin. I've always done Latin records, and when I've done something that was a Mexican record, like Go Loco, I wrote that song, and I was like, this reminds me. This song is literally for the Mexicans I grew up with. You know what I'm saying? Being from LA, that I went to high school with. This is I want to pay homage to them. This is what I've seen growing up, and friends of mine. You know what I'm saying? When I made Go Loco, that's what that was like. And I think what I Caramba, I wasn't thinking this is for the Mexicans I grew up with. You know what I mean? So I think the people at the end of the day, like, I'm not Mexican, so I can't say like what Mexicans are offended by and not. You know what I'm saying? But I know like I had no intentions on offending anybody. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So for one, like, I want to apologize to like the Mexican community and like my fans that are Mexican. Like, I have a lot of Latin fans that are Puerto Rican, Dominican, that probably weren't offended by this video, but my Mexican fans in LA, there definitely was like some that were offended, and like you said, like people like American Cholo, you know what I'm saying, like, so, and I was really just kind of confused, like, because I wasn't making this video to be offensive. I was really making this video like to be creative, and the whole concept of the video was just different Latin things. It wasn't like a Mexican themed video. The song is, you know, Mexicans don't say ay caramba, like that's more like just maybe Spain or like just a Latin word. So I think when I made the video, first of all, the character is just me in a fat suit. The character's not even Mexican. You know what I'm saying? But this character was literally a reference from I don't know if you've seen like Nutty Professor. There's a scene in Nutty Professor where he's like he has the same kind of sweatsuit on, and it's Eddie Murphy in a fat suit, and like he's like eating ice cream. Like, it's kind of the same setup if you look at like the couch and the TV and all that. And he's like, he like wants to like do something for himself. He's like, he feels bad for himself because he's like, he's lazy and shit. You know what I'm saying? So now he's like working out and all that. So that was like, even when I spoke to the director, like those photos were my reference. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it was never my intention to be like, this character that I'm creating that I want to play, because I just want to do something fun. I like to animate with my videos. It was never my intention to be like, this character is a fat Mexican character. And I think that's why I was confused, because I was like, but this is not a Mexican character, but this is a character. This is a Latin theme song to where like there are elements in there that are Mexican, like from chips and guacamole. But I mean, like, that's not, like, everybody loves chips and guacamole. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I eat Mexican food twice a week. But like, I'm from LA,
but
you know?
It's in the context of how you do it. I could understand how you're saying that, but then when you put the
lowrider.
You put in the lowrider.
Right.
If it was like a guy in maybe a doctor suit, then you think, all right, you know, doctor, whatever you thought you were going for, right? But when you put everything in context, and then you see, like I said, if you were seeing watermelon falling from the sky, the African American community would have been upset, rightfully so, right? And like I said, when it comes to like the Que Loco song, we made some noise and we said we didn't like it, and it wasn't so much the song; it was the wearing the mariachi suit. That mariachi suit is very sacred to a lot of people, right? That mariachi suit means family.
Wait, in what? In Go Loco?
Go Loco.
In the
Yeah.
Que Loco.
YG had a mariachi.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So when we saw that, so that's what we had an issue with, because that's tradition, that represents struggle, that represents family, and it seems like a lot of artists, and then after that one, are starting to do stuff like that. You had the Que Loco one, right? We make noise, but the thing is that people at higher platforms don't really listen to us, right? Then you had the one with Blueface Carne Asada. That was another one, which was even worse than any one of those other ones. And then you had this one. So it's almost like at a boiling point where we're like, man, when does this stop? To us, even though sitting here talking to you, I don't believe for 1 second, Tyga, that you did this maliciously and we're upset and we're like just trying to disrespect people, right? I do, to a point, feel like maybe you guys were like, well, there was a little backlash with the Que Loco one, but you know what? Backlash makes for more views, and that's where I'm standing from, is what I'm kind of thinking. You guys are probably thinking, we'll get a little heat for it, no problem. We'll get more views, and they'll just be quiet, because that's a problem with the brown community a lot of times. We just look the other way, and that's from where I'm standing from. A lot of us feel that way, that, hey, these guys are just doing this in the entertainment industry to get the views, to get a little bit of controversy, and after that, we're going to shut up like we've done for so many years, and we're going to go away. You're going to get your views, and you guys win, you know, as far as your project. But with us, we're really telling you, dude, this is offensive. And some younger individuals may say, this is not offensive to me, right? Well, it's a lack of education is what it is. How we were talking in the room, it's like this. Me and you are boys, right? And me and you have jokes. We talk about our mama. We talk about this. But when my mom comes in the room, those jokes stop. I don't talk about my mama. Right. So when we see stuff like this playing off on air, it's like, man, that could. You're talking about my grandparents. You're talking about the mariachi. So you're talking about our culture. And a lot of times we hear from the industry, oh, we're paying homage. But it's like, to us, it's you're not paying homage. You're mocking us. And I'm not saying you're doing that specifically, but it seems like the industry, time and time again, has a history of mocking brown people. And then when we say something, people say, even our own, stop crying. But it's not that we're crying. Is we're in a relationship, right? And in a relationship, if somebody tells you, hey, I don't like the way you're treating me, you don't sit there and just tell them, oh, stop crying. You tell them, well, what's the problem? Let's talk about it. And I think that's what we're doing here. We're coming to you as a community and telling you, hey, Tyga, we don't like it. We feel disrespected by it, and we want to know why. Why a director would sit there and believe that it's okay to throw tortillas from the sky.
Right. I think I can't speak for like other people that have made like records, Latin records, but I could say definitely for like Go Local, like I felt like that was paying homage. I didn't see any like disrespect in it. You know what I'm saying? Like. But then again, like, I'm not Mexican, so, but it's hard because it's like, I grew up my whole life in Mexican culture being in LA, so it's kind of like hard for me to like separate the two, you know what I mean? But this video, I can understand a little bit now where you're coming from because it's like, and it was meant to be a funny video, but not make fun of, you get what I'm saying? So it's like, I think that's also like what I really wanted people to understand. Like this video was not to make fun of Mexican culture or Latin culture, because there's other things. I mean, there's literally this character I created is me in a fat suit. It's kind of like a childlike kind of character that loves, like, he loves junk food. He likes watching the shows that he's like watching. That's why there's like, he likes wrestling. That's why there's like a lucha libre scene. There's a he likes cartoon. That's why there's like me dressed as Yosemite Sam, which is like probably, I think he's like Jewish or something. Like, you know what I mean? And there's a old car salesman, me dressed as the old car salesman, which is like
Kyle Worthington.
Kyle Worthington. I just seen those commercials like when I was young, growing up in LA. Right. And then there's another scene that I took from like a Eminem video to where there's like mariachi, and then there's like the bullfighter, because like the cover is like me meshed with this like bullfighter, and that's like Spain. So there's like just different Latin things, but I mean I definitely didn't have any intentions to like offend anybody. That's why I want people to know. And you know, if people are offended, I really apologize. That's why I really wanted to sit with you, because I'm like, it's important to me, especially like my Mexican fan base. Like, I do a show, 50% of the crowd in California or on the West Coast is Mexican, and those are my fans. So if anything, I'm hurt if they're hurt. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So like,
well, the great thing that came out of this, Tyga, is the conversation, because believe it or not, this actually has turned into actually a bigger conversation, not just about the industry, but black and brown relationships. And and the issue with the video has brought the conversation to the table, and we're having a lot more dialogue with one another. And I think that's what's needed, because especially like in Los Angeles area, we're here. We're, you know, the African Americans here.
So do you think it's cool to do? Do you think it's cool to do like Latin records if you're not Latin?
Absolutely.
Or do you feel just feel like
you can
certain things in culture?
It's certain
culture.
It's certain things in culture. Music is universal. You should be able to do, as long as it's good music, you should be able to do anything. Almost like with comedians. Comedians are the only ones that I would say can do whatever they want, because that's what they do. They bring some crazy topics, put on the table, and put their spin on it. But when it comes to music, no, I would be a fool to say, "Oh, Tyga, you can't be doing Mexican music." No, that's wrong. Music is music, and music is universal. I would never say that. I think you're allowed to do any of that.
Yeah, but
art as well, just art.
Yeah, I mean, that's
feel.
what it is. Like, my art is never meant to offend anybody. Like, my art and the music brings people together. That's you hear my music in places where people are brought together, whether a party or a club or a birthday, or like, you know, so it's meant to like have a good time and entertain people, never meant to offend. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and what do you recommend, not only for him, but this is just for the industry in general moving forward, because obviously people take offense to different things, you know what I'm saying? And like he was saying, he actually has, you know, a lot of Mexican people around him that work with him. But it's like certain people might not take offense, or either that, or they know him so well that doesn't even cross their mind. Like, nah, I know him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like those thoughts don't cross your mind to tell him like, yo, you know what? Someone might get offended by that, because you yourself might not be offended. You know what I'm saying? So like, what do you think is
would help the situation?
Yeah, just like moving forward.
I think you're not gonna make a movie Boys from the Hood without having actual African American people there telling you, yeah, this is how Boys in the Hood is, this is how this is.
Yeah.
So if you're making a song like this, I think you get some kind of consultants. You know, you pay a couple grand to tell somebody who's in the culture, hey, dude, can you come over here and tell me if this is offensive or how does this work? Because I think a lot of times what happens is you get a bunch of yes men, or you get people that get scared to tell you something. And I'm sure there was people that maybe looked at your video and said, this is not good, but hey, this is Tyga. I can't tell him anything. You know, he's doing his thing. So I think moving forward, you do videos like this, yeah, you want to get some kind of consultants from that industry. In other words, if you're doing, like I said, if you're doing a black movie, imagine if you're doing a black movie and it's a Mexican guy and a white director. That black movie is not going to be authentic. It's not going to come out, even though that's not what you were going for. You're going more for a parody and have fun. But I think definitely you need to get some kind of person in there that's in the culture, knows about it, to be like, hey, man, you know what? This is a little bit wrong. This is a little bit offensive to us, because we don't have that in our community, really. We don't really have any representation, and a lot of times we're not being heard. But it seems like we're finally starting to waken up as a people, which is good, because all we ask for is the same respect that everybody else is asking for. We're asked to be treated exactly the same way. That's all we want.
Yeah. And what do you think needs to be done, like, as far as the Mexican community goes, to have that breakthrough? You know what I'm saying? As far as getting the respect in the hip hop community, not even like, not on a street level, just musically. Like what do you think we need to do as a Mexican community?
It just needs to be more collabs. It needs to be more coming together, whether it's different races or not. You know what I'm saying? If it's Mexican artists doing records with people like myself or YG or certain people, that if it makes sense for the art and makes sense for the song, I think it just needs to be just more coming together. Because I know from me, I can speak for myself, that I feel like I'm paying homage when I do some of these Latin records or certain things like that. Like, that's how I genuinely feel.
Yeah.
Like when I made like Go Loco, or if I do like Macarena, that's like Spain, like, you know, like that's one of the biggest records we perform. You know what I'm saying? So I always come from a place of like endearment, to where it's like I'm paying homage, you know, and like, and I'm seeing the reaction of these Latin fans, and they're like, they love it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I can only speak for myself, though, you know?
Right, of course.
Yeah.
And with the Tyga situation, let me ask you this, Tyga. I hear you. I do believe you're sincere in what you're saying 100%. But I think it comes down to this, especially in our community. Would you, and I'm not going to put you on the spot here now, maybe you can talk with your team after, would you be willing to take that video down, is what I would ask? Because to me, if somebody were to tell me, I apologize, I'm sorry, but you still leave the video up, it's kind of like, it's kind of a hollow apology, because that thing that's offending us is still going to be there, and at the end it'll be like you go away, you're still getting all the views, people are still watching for the controversy, and at the end we got nothing out of it. And it's not like we were trying to get something to win. We're trying to just, hey guys, we don't like it, reshoot the video, do whatever you got to do, and have somebody come out there and do this. Because listen, like I said, the song is not offensive, not at all. It's just the visuals on it. Yeah,
people, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm definitely open for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm open. I'm not gonna say like I'm gonna delete the art and delete. You know,
of
like,
course, but
you know, $250,000 video that I just like paid out of my pocket. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, and enough people I've been you know, reading different comments and different people's take on it. I watched your take on it, and you know, I wanted to really see how I felt, and I wanted to sit back and I wanted to process how I felt,
of course,
and understood. That's why I wanted to sit here with you, so I could really understand. Right. And if I feel like, you know, that's right, then yeah, I don't have a problem with doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Dope. I like that, man.
Well, like, you know, Go Loco and some of those other records that are like big and platinum, you know, we ain't touching those. You feel me? We ain't gonna touch those. We can touch this one, baby. But,
you know what, bro? I need you to take down there.
Nah.
While you're over there.
While you hovering over that delete button. You know what I'm saying?
No, not at all.
Yo, and real quick, man, I want you to plug all your socials and what you got going, because I do think it's a great thing that you got going on, you know, especially you know, within the Latin community, the Chicano community. You know, you do a lot of great things, man, and you're local. You know, you're homegrown here.
Right.
tell the people like where they can find you, what you got going, what you know what
for
I'm saying?
sure. Listen, on Instagram is The Real American Cholo. On YouTube, it's American Cholo. And on the podcast that we have, we can talk anywhere from the streets all the way to White House politics. We try to bring conversations to the table. A lot of people kind of try to tippy-toe around and walk in there. We walk in there and just bring it to the table. But we always have it in an adult-like manner. We're not going to sit here and start cussing people all and doing that, because once that happens, the line of communication is gone.
Yeah.
And what we're trying to do, we're trying to bridge communication, not just within our community, African American community, white community, any community, and we're trying to empower our people to finally kind of wake up and say, hey guys, we're deep in America. Let's get involved. Let's use our numbers, not in a negative way, in a positive way. Because if it wasn't for everybody actually like making noise, Tyga would have never heard about this.
Yeah.
It would have been a local thing, and we would have just been pissed off. And one day Tyga would have been walking, somebody said, F this guy.
Yeah,
and Tyga would,
yeah.
what the hell are you talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah,
So
yeah.
the platform we're trying to use is to actually have tough conversations, but at the same time we do interviews and everything else, just spice it up a little bit. That's pretty much what we do.
Okay, that's what's up, man. Now we appreciate your
Definitely
time,
appreciate
man.
it.
Yeah,
Everyone's
thank
time.
you guys,
Real,
man.
too. Yeah, thank you for coming up here.
Bringing the open lines of communication. I think that was important.
Absolutely.
I think both sides, saw some different perspectives.
Yes.
That, like you said, like just having the conversation takes us to another place. And I think this was a great moment today, fellas.
For sure,
Yeah,
man.
for sure. I
Yeah,
appreciate
man.
you for coming, man.
Oh, man,
For
thank
sure.
you, my man.
Yes.
Yeah, and once again, you could check him out. I'm sure all the links are on your Instagram, right?
Yeah, for sure.
At The Real American
Yeah,
Cholo.
don't go to the fake guy, homie. Go to the real one.
Yeah, the real one. The Real American Cholo, man. Go give him a follow. Check out those links on his profile, man. And we're gonna connect too,
Yeah, for
man.
sure. We'll do
outside
some
of
stuff.
this,
Absolutely, man.
we
Definitely.
definitely got to do that, man. But we appreciate y'all's time. Yeah, I mean, shit. Hopefully, we answered a lot of the questions that people have been asking. So
I think we did.
appreciate it, man. Just incredible. Sour Milk, your LA Leakers, Power 106, that liftoff show,
Yes,
baby.
sir.